Sequence activated. This is not a drill.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Reset Broadcast. Tonight, Sean's gonna play some DayZ, Phil's gonna talk about the Deadpool trailer and what he really didn't like about it, and the group's gonna discuss Steam sales and whether or not they cheapen the IPs of games. First, we'll head into the DayZ segment with me and Sean. So when Sean and I planned the DayZ segment originally, we didn't exactly know what we were getting into, per se. We ended up spending about 2.5 hours trying to find each other. I would find him, but then I would die before I got there. He would find me, but then he would die before he got there. And it was always bandits that killed us, which is other players in the game, not the zombies. So we were all frustrated and worn out, and by the time we started capture, I was almost out of hard drive space. So what you're going to see now is a small collection of clips that hopefully summarize our experience with the game and what we thought about it. Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to a rolling intro episode of the Reset Broadcast. Finally, special segment for reporting from the field. Joining me today is Sean Knight, and he is here on location, embedded in some Russian city that I can't pronounce.
Sure. Yeah, and we're trying to survive.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 2.5 hours, trying to find a somebody or some sign of life that's here. And after 2.5 hours, both of us have died 2 or 3 times at least. We finally managed to find each other. Sean managed to find an AK-47 or a machine gun, which is actually ridiculously complicated to do. And we're going to show you a little bit of DayZ.
Well, now that I got a weapon, food and water is a priority for me since I'm starting to get into the red, and I'll start passing out.
Yeah, this game's super intense. You gotta eat, you have to drink, you have to do all those other fun things. I'm going to kind of assume that our audience has a base understanding of how DayZ works, but... Alright, y'all two are in front of the station?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna head to y'all. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, careful you don't fall.
Yeah.
Last thing you need to do is break a couple bones.
Alright, best of luck, dude. That guy just, he didn't catch that. He said, see you in another life, I'm going this way. That kind of highlights some of the intensity of this game, knowing that he quite literally means another life. Because odds are we will not live long enough to see him. Shit, zombie. Sean, do we run or do we fight it?
We run. Yep, I'm behind you.
So yeah, right now, as you can see, kind of there's a zombie chasing Sean and I. We could turn around and shoot it, but even the slightest noise attracts more zombies. Something we do not want to do. So right now we are attempting evasive maneuvers here.
I can't tell who he's following.
He's following you. Now me. Now you.
What the hell?
Oh, shh. Okay. Oh, got animal. Look at that.
There we go.
As you can perhaps tell, DayZ isn't always the most exciting game to watch or play. What makes the game fun is its tension and its interaction with other survivors, which there is very little of during our time. In fact, we did end up getting killed by 2 guys with axes from behind while trying to raid a house, but my camera recording program crashed before then. The video then concluded with Sean and I rage-quitting humanity because we determined that human beings are just giant dicks. So, in the future, stay tuned for our revenge segment, where we're going to go find guns and kill every single person we can find as retribution. Next up is a new segment that we're calling Trailer Trash. This week, Phil and I take the Deadpool trailer to task on what we didn't like about it, and Sean's there to defend it. Take a look at what we thought. Alright, Phil, give us an overview. What'd you think of the trailer?
It's like this game is meant to appeal to the same people who find it hilarious to yell penis.
Yeah, the people that play the penis game, the high school?
Yeah.
Or who are currently playing it over YouTube, yelling so the parents don't hear them. And this is in front of a crowd of people at Comic-Con, right? That's where this debuted?
Right.
Do you think it debuted to giant praise, or do you think that it,
I don't know. I don't really know what the crowd is like at Comic-Con.
I almost find this video offensive, and I don't find it a lot offensive. Like, it's not offensive, that's taking it a little bit too far, but it's just groan and eye roll all the way through this thing.
It kind of reminds me, it's like when a grown adult dresses as a teenager, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, and that shot right there kind of ruins all credibility they may have had of saying that they were being a parody. Because Jiggle Jiggle does not, that's not
Right.
parody territory anymore. They kind of already.
Yeah.
All right, so Sean, what do you think about all this immaturity, and do you think it's pandering to an audience, or what do you think there?
Well, first and foremost, it's the nature of the character himself. Deadpool is completely off the walls, irreverent, and he is obsessed with boobies. He's essentially our inner child, just more obnoxious. And as for the immaturity of the game
I agree with
itself,
the obnoxious part. But go on.
you know, there is a room in the video game marketplace for these kinds of games. Look at Duke Nukem.
Yeah, so much from
Hey,
that
I
game.
Right.
love Duke Nukem, okay? I think that's still a great franchise. It's just Duke Nukem Forever had its little quirks, unfortunately.
You mean being a bad game? Yeah, that was
Look
definitely a
at
problem.
South Park, the game coming up.
But see,
gonna
that's the
be-
thing. South Park is crude in a really clever way.
Oh,
And this
so
is crude and it's just like, oh, boobs. Like, that's not, I don't know.
Yeah, but once again, nature of Deadpool, but also there's nothing really wrong with it. You can have your mature, thoughtful games, but you can also have the mature and dumbed down ones as well. There's a place for them all.
Well, I'm saying this game's immature, but I'm not saying it's not going to sell. Deadpool has a lot of fans. There are a lot of immature gamers. There are a lot of people sitting there at the keyboard going, "It was boobs. Look at that." And I think that, but between all of those things, there are probably enough people to get this game to do financially well. But I just don't see it. I don't see what it's going for here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a game before with a character who was unusually sarcastic, who broke the fourth wall a lot, a game that featured a lot of first-person turrets. Oh yeah, Duke Nukem, we already brought that up. I do feel like this game is reeks of Duke Nukem. Now, perhaps it'll pull out off better mechanically, but the sense of humor, to the quick cutting of frames, to the way the trailer's frames, it all just seems really familiar.
I think I've said everything left to say.
Just dumb with this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a small trailer. It's not a whole lot to go on, but I am certainly not impressed by it. Sean is, though. Sean is the advocate, and I'm glad he is. I'm glad that somebody has an audience for this game. It'll, at the very least...
The very least, the audience is going to be all the Marvel fans that really enjoyed the Deadpool character. And there's quite a few of them out there.
Yeah, people have been calling for a Deadpool movie, a Deadpool game for years, so I have no doubt that it'll at least have some chance of finding an audience. Alright, thank you Sean and Phil for joining me, and the Deadpool game should be coming out sometime in 2013. And now we're moving on to this week's weekly discussion, where Randy, Sean, Richard, and myself will talk about Steam sales and whether or not they devalue game IPs. Stay tuned. And now we're going on to the roundtable discussion. Joining me today is Sean Knight.
Hello.
Richard Hayden.
Hello.
And Randy Lamberson.
Hello.
So, this last week was the Steam sale, and it's great for gamers and all, but it does bring up a few questions. Is the Steam sale good for games? Valve and EA have both had different things to say about it, and now it's our turn to contribute to the conversation. So, Sean, what do you think about this? Do you think that Steam sales help games or end up hurting the value of them in the long run?
I think DeMartini from EA is forgetting the fact that there are different tiers of people who are willing to pay for your product. You have those who are you paid for $60 for your game, but sooner or later you have to bring the price down. Otherwise, you're not going to sell any more copies. And Steam is following this to the letter, where they've got the price point, then they discount, and then they go even further down to sell it for more people, making it more accessible to a larger, broader base. And in the end, it's making more money for the developers. So with DeMartini saying this, I don't know where he comes up with it or what facts he has to back his words up. But Steam sales are proof of the success for both the developers and Steam as a platform.
But we really don't know what kind of back-end happens from the Steam sales. I don't really hear much from the...
There have been certain developers, such as the guys who made Super Meat Boy. They've come out and talked about how great their sales have been on Steam, even much better than what has been on Xbox Live. So while Steam has a policy of never revealing their numbers, there are developers who do talk about it from time to time. Dear Esther made a ton of money, I think a couple times more than what they paid for to develop it. a week or two after it was launched on Steam, and then now it's on sale, and I'm sure they're selling a lot more.
That's true. I guess some sales are better than none, though. I think the argument that EA makes is people wait to buy games so that, say they have the money for a game and the game's on sale, they'll wait until it goes, or they have the money for the game, but they don't really want to spend all that money all at once, so they wait till it goes on sale and get it for half price. Or I didn't know Mark was joining us today.
I'm at work, sorry.
Half price or quarter price. So, like, this happened with my friend in DayZ, to use a relevant example. He wants DayZ, but the game is $30 on Steam, so he waited for it to go on sale. It dropped $10 on Steam for the Steam sale, and he still hasn't bought it because he's waiting for the game to go lower again. So in his very specific case, I would make an argument that more than him exist like that. That there are people out there that intentionally wait to get a game till the price drops.
But that,
Do you think there's a problem?
Fair enough. That ties into Sean's comment about the tier structure. That there are people prepared to pay $60, people prepared to pay $30, and then $20, and then right down to $2. I think some games are going for $2 now. And I'm one of those. I bought a game on Steam today for, in English money, £1.74. That's just a bit over $2. It's a game I never would have touched unless it had been $2. That's $2 they've got that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
That's a cup of coffee right there.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's a game they've shifted that I would never have dreamed of touching it at 60. Or even 5.
Just to touch on it, I think Richard's absolutely right. There's a lot of games that many players won't even pick up or even look that way because of the price, and I feel that price drop will kind of offer it to players who never even dreamed of picking up. I mean, I've done the same thing. There's been games in the past that I've had no interest for, but hey, I saw they were on sale. I've heard a couple good things here and there about them. I can spare $5-10, whatever the case is, and I picked them up. And I probably would have never have picked them up before when they were at full value. And something they need to look at is products depreciate in value. It doesn't matter what it is. You drive a car off that lot, it depreciates in value. Same thing in video games. Video games have been out for a couple years. It's going to decrease in value because people have played it. They're going to be in the bargain bins. There's different areas that you can pick it up and find it. So I think the sell is just the inevitable, lowering the price for players to be able to pick it up and at the same time depreciating the product in value.
So you're saying it's basically been happening for years. This is just the digital equivalent of it?
Exactly, and really there's no accurate way to calculate or even estimate potential loss of sales due to the fact that they're dropping down the prices. I mean, I know that Valve went on record saying that they've given away Left 4 Dead 2 and Portal 2. They've done sales on them, and the data at the end of the day showed that they were selling the exact same, if not better. So, I mean, it's really the argument goes two ways, but I think it's been something that's been going on for a long time.
I guess that is a strong case to be made, especially with the Team Fortress going free-to-play argument. I know it's a free-to-play game, but it's kind of a similar idea in that you give your game away for free, but the people that pay for it will counterbalance and end up making more money from it than the ones who got it for free. So
you increase your install base. Because you may have a smaller percentage of people paying for it, but you have more customers. So the logic is that there's more income from that. I mean, it only works for certain games. I mean, your install base has to stay committed to a game. Team Fortress 2 is an excellent example. That remains a very highly played game with a huge population. There are other games out there that don't do quite so well, and I guess they need to look at free-to-play game models. But yeah, Valve have got it right.
Gotcha. Do you think that Origin is going to give in and have their own sale anytime in the near future?
Oh, yeah. They're going to have to bite the bullet and start competing with Steam.
Definitely.
Right.
They need to increase their install base beyond games that are forcing people to have Origin accounts. Because at the moment, I mean, they talk about having 11 million users. But those 11 million users will almost all be associated with SWOT or Battlefield, Mass Effect. Mm-hmm. The games that are requiring Origin accounts. They need to grow their audience beyond those games.
Well, in all fairness, that is how Steam started, isn't it? Steam was just this little thing that you had to install with Half-Life 2 to get it to play multiplayer. So
yeah, and it didn't work too well back then either, but it took time. But then again, Valve was spearheading the entire movement. They were the first, and they're the best at the moment.
Yeah, and they've grown and adapted to the changes in gaming. And are offering so many more titles than just, you know, having like Origin, having to have it installed to be able to play a game. They now have such a large library of games that you can go on and pick up. And you know, I mean, I hear the word Steam a lot more than I hear the word Origin, and probably because it's largely due to that. They look out for the gamers. I recently went to the store and I went to pick up Modern Warfare. I forget which one. Play with my little brother, and it was still going for like $50 used. You know what I did? I turned around and walked out. I saw Orange Box for $5, and I picked that up instead. You know, I mean, that means that they lost out on money. Yeah, it's a small amount, but you know, the game's been out for so many years. Drop it down in price. Same thing goes for these digital downloads.
All right, that's gonna do it. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Richard.
No problem, thank you.
And thank you, Randy. Alright, that's going to do it for this week's Reset broadcast. Thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to like our video, comment on our page, retweet us, or do whatever it is you have to do to share us with your friends. We'd love to have them come watch our show. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out PressToReset.com for articles on all the subjects that we talked about today and more. Good night.
I just want Boobies with Guns to be in the show, no matter what. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. If you wanted to be in there. I did get right up close and took a picture of Nathan Fillion, but...
the middle image of my head is you just like sneaking up like this little camera. It's like a half blurry picture of his face doing that.
Well, there you go.
14 episodes and 1 movie.
Yeah, he's all got him.
Sean's got it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Reach of the shot.
That's all that's behind that black sheet is just Firefly memorabilia. It like reaches back there. There you go.
I've got the whole cast behind me.
Nathan Fillion's face. Check this out.
Nathan Fillion's game.
Yeah.
10 pounds, actually.
And
all I can see now is Captain Picard dressed up as Doc McFly. We gotta go back. We gotta go back, Marty. Thanks a lot for putting that in my head.
I say it all authority, but it's bald instead of it's got the crazy.
There's a flying train out of nowhere.
And we have 1088 miles an hour. Engage.
It's not about skateboarding. What's going on, punk? No, oh my God.
I got all things to pull out.
I can do it too, man. Calculator, stapler.
Twilight Zone, all right.
Now they want me to go to China for a couple weeks, and it's like, I don't know if I can do it.
And see Ubisoft Shanghai.
Yeah. No, I would be hanging out in Dole factories where they make plastic molds and adapters.
We'll do a Reset broadcast from there, from the inside of a factory.
Yeah. This is Randy here, and you want to know how batteries are made?
Oh my gosh, somebody just jumped!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
I had to say it.
I mean, it's like this much space. And they fit in it perfectly fine, but normal people are like...
Normal people.
We are crossing into... Alright.
Yeah,
I'm going to cut us off. Cut us off.
I didn't mean it the way it came out. Average height people.
We just killed Richard. Richard's over there trying not to say anything. Like, poor, innocent, polite Richard just doesn't know what to do in this situation.
I'm running out of my depth.
My wife's Mexican, I could say it.
Oh, okay. You're digging yourself into a bigger hole, but keep going. Alright, bye.
See you
Bye.
Alright, later guys.
Yeah.